Thanks, Jackie. The path forward, the state health department says to date we have vaccinated more than 270,000 Tennesseans aged 71 and up. That's roughly 47% of all the vaccines that we have been allocated. But tonight, some continue to question vaccine equity and who's being left behind waiting. Fox 17 News' Erica Glover live at her home after asking what needs to change in this distribution process.
Well, Scott, State Health Commissioner Dr. Lisa Piercy says about 40% of Tennessee seniors live alone and are dependent on transportation and technology assistance. It's also why some minority groups are being left behind when it comes to COVID-19 vaccinations.
Hopeful that this vaccine will help this go away.
79-year-old Edythe Trotter-Odem is a lung cancer survivor who spent most of the last year in isolation.
And that was important to me because I know people who have had underlying issues that have died.
Now she's gearing up for her second dose of Pfizer's vaccine. But the reality is, for other Black or Hispanic Davidson County seniors, COVID-19 vaccination rates are bleak.
I know a lot of people who are having trouble getting the vaccine. Actually, my sister-in-law, who's 85, she hadn't received it yet.
Metro Coronavirus Task Force Chair Dr. Alex Jahanger says 34% of white seniors over 75 have received their first COVID-19 vaccine. But compare that to just 23% of Hispanics and 19% of Black Nashvillians in the same age range.
I'll be the first to tell you, I think, yes, we want to try to get these numbers higher and higher.
I contacted Health Commissioner Dr. Lisa Piercy to ask what's being done to bridge COVID-19 vaccination gaps for seniors in majority minority communities.
It's not quite as simple as just telling Tennessee's population, hey, go out and get a vaccine, because there's oftentimes a need for assistance, particularly when it comes to technology.
They're working with faith-based community and Metro partners, including Neighborhood Health CEO Brian Hale.
I think hospitals initially focused on vaccinating their own populations, and that was deeply distressing because of who they serve. It's a disproportionately white, disproportionately wealthy population.
Focusing on location of vaccine sites, access to scheduling, and providing reliable transportation.
But we're going to stay focused on zip codes that are medically underserved and where folks just haven't had the same access as those in other parts of the city.
I also reached out to the Metro Health Department to ask how they're addressing these issues. They told me they are working on developing initiatives that target minority groups that are dealing with this, and that they would have more information on Thursday or Friday.
Nashville Mayor John Cooper under fire tonight after excluding a popular South Nashville park from his new budget plan. Fair Park is set to begin phase 2 of construction, but ended up left out of the budget, leaving the project in jeopardy now. Fox 17 News' Jackie Del Pilar tonight finds out what those fighting for the park plan to do to keep this project alive.
This sign here shows that it is the end of the Greenway at Fair Park, but it says that project will happen in the future. But with the budget up in the air, it's unclear when this project or others like it may be completed.
A South Nashville haven for man and dog alike. The dog park, greenways, and sport fields full of people enjoying their day.
It's really been a vital resource for the area, especially during this time.
Colby Sledge is the council member over this park. He says phase 2 of the park includes new upgrades, like connecting the greenway trails and added flood mitigation to Browns Creek.
Browns Creek floods a lot.
But the mayor's new budget doesn't cover these upgrades. In fact, not 1 cent of the new budget is dedicated to Fair Park, an unfair oversight for Sledge and his constituents.
There is money for greenways and green space in this capital spending plan. Unfortunately, Fair Park was just not included in that.
I reached out to the mayor's office, who sent me a statement saying Mayor Cooper is committed to creating a one-of-a-kind destination at the fairgrounds and plans to present a comprehensive package for the park to City Council this summer. In the meantime, Sludge is filing a substitute budget, asking the city for $7 million to finish construction at the park.
Councilman Sledge says in his substitute budget, he simply adds in $7 million for funding at this park. He does not take funding away from any other item.
Well, hello again, everyone. I'm Fox 17's Justin McFarland. This is Christian County, Kentucky. I-24 is where we are, right at the Oak Grove exit 89. What you're looking at is the backup and the leftover crash of an 18-wheeler that is across the interstate. This 18-wheeler's been laying across the interstate for quite some time now. There's also a smaller white truck back behind it that was also involved in this crash. Looks like it tore up the guardrail and resulted in this kind of a mess. All morning long across parts of southern Kentucky here in Christian County, there has been wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck. Tow truck drivers incredibly busy. The Kentucky Department of Transportation also getting out here and working very hard as well to try to clear the ice off the road. We don't know about any injuries. We do know about backups and delays. We have seen backups and delays as a result of not only this 18-wheeler accident, but a few others that have lasted 20 miles or more. Anywhere between Hopkinsville and Edysville, you have seen some huge backups. We were in Hopkinsville, Kentucky earlier this morning. My colleague, A.J. Hilton, says that the whole city looked like it was a glazed donut, and I have to agree with him on that. The ice was everywhere, on top of the street signs, in the parking lots, on the roads, whether it was a main street or a side street, the ice was everywhere. Same deal on the interstate, obviously, where we have been dealing with slip and slide throughout the morning. Some of the back roads, incredibly iced over. Kentucky has done the best job they can putting down some of the salt to try to make sure people have traction. They've even been out here laying down the plows to get the ice off the road. We have video of that as well here on Facebook, where we were showing Kentucky Department of Transportation plow scraping the ground so hard that sparks were flying from underneath the plow. Incredible video to watch there. In the meantime, crews continue to clean up this mess. The backup is large. Let's see if we can show it here just a touch. Let's go this way. Let's go this way here. I'm talking to my photographer, Alex, here, so he can show you, first of all, where they have 24, the entrance ramp, blocked off down there. That police SUV has got the interstate blocked off, so additional truck traffic cannot get on because they couldn't go anywhere anyway. And then those who dare get on have a different problem. They were stuck on the ramp. If we can twist it all the way around there. There they are, stuck on the ramp to get on to 24. They've been sitting there for a few hours as well. Lots of detours are in place. Just consult your GPS and also know that it's going to take a while. If you're trying to take I-24 through southern Kentucky, it's going to take a while. They are doing the best they can to clear the roads, but it is a lengthy process, and they have to be careful to make sure to get all the ice up so this doesn't happen again, or so that it's not worse in the future. A lot less people on the road as well this morning, happy to say. People have kind of heeded the warning and stayed off the road for the most part, so there's nowhere near as many people as there could be out here. Certainly great news there. So in the meantime, we continue to watch the scene out here on I-24 in Christian County. We're continuing to make sure that people can stay safe as possible. And just want to give the warning, if you're inside, you thought about going out here in southern Kentucky, Christian County, hopefully you'll take a look at this and then reevaluate if it's really worth getting out here. This is not where you want to be unless you like sitting on icy interstates. We hope everybody's okay in this accident. We're unsure about that, but crews continue to try and clean it up. No question here in southern Kentucky's gotten the worst of this storm. We've been talking about this storm now for several days on Fox 17 News. We've gone code red to try to warn everybody. We thought that maybe Clarksville could catch some of it, but so far in Clarksville, all we've seen is mostly rain. Nothing like the icy conditions we've seen here in southern Kentucky. And you know, storms are funny like this. The difference between the two cities is not that far. But a few miles makes all the difference in a storm like this. And Hopkinsville has seen a level of ice that certainly Clarksville did not this go around. So Fox 17 News will continue to stay on top of this storm and any others that come your way. This is what we do all the time. And by the way, good morning to everyone who's watching on Facebook Live. As you're taking a look at this truck lane across the interstate on I-24 in Oak Grove, Kentucky. Oak Grove, Kentucky is just to the north of Nashville here. So, you know, we're continuing to kind of watch the scene just to the north of Clarksville. Across the state line is where we are, not too far from Fort Campbell. This is in the southeastern part of the United States of America, for those of you who are watching internationally, which I know many of you do. Hopefully things are better where you are instead of this this dreary, cold, and wet morning here in southern Kentucky.